people's.
Can you see reflections of the
No, I
fireplace?
can't see a reflection. I don't think you know how to do reflect. So there you go. The nice
Can
thing is,
you?
kids, we're live, and Uzman has sent us a thing, and he will be here at the top of the hour because, God forbid, he comes to a show early. That's all I can say. So,
That's a
but other than
very
that,
American centric expression. The top of the hour.
all right. Would you like the bottom of the hour?
Yeah. What would the bottom of the hour be? The
That would
half
be
past?
a big fat girl with a big butt, I think. I mean,
No, but seriously, do you use the expression at the bottom of the hour?
No, I only use the top of the hour because I like to be on top. So I only go with what I know.
I had a bit of a lockdown yesterday evening
You
with
did. What did you get locked down
some
to?
some of the theme song for yesterday evening. I couldn't really get the lockdown, but I got the lowdown. Boss Gags,
Oh, okay.
very Miami music. So that was my kind of.
Yeah.
I have a bit of a theme tune playing in my head whenever these sessions happen, right? And the other
Oh,
one
really?
was even though it wasn't Saturday night last night, we had this bit of a Saturday night fever kind of thing going on. It's
Okay.
like you create a mood in your own head, and then you try and kind of marinate in that energy as well. When you're having a herf being
Yeah.
for the American audience, a herf being a gathering of two
Stop it.
or
The Americans
more.
know what a herf is.
I don't presume in 2025. I don't presume that anyone. I don't presume anyone knows anything.
All right.
I can
All
only
right.
humbly impart knowledge.
Okay. As you should. As you should. You should humbly impart knowledge. Yes.
And I've realized that because you go live, I have to kind of start behaving myself from the outset, because normally when you click live before Usman turns up, right,
Yeah.
we're kind of like just a bit relaxed and just chatting. But I hope that people who watch this realize that that's just literally how we talk. If
Yeah.
someone
If the
bumped into
begin. The,
Stephen
yeah.
on in a mall, God forbid, in a mall, or
Yeah.
just sort of like out about it, that's how Stephen is. Stephen is that way.
I am. And I did have a fan bump into me on an airplane. And I had a
Oh, yeah.
fan bump into me a few weeks ago at the Cigar Lounge, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
were like, you are the same.
You are you not?
You are." They were, first of all, they double looked, and they go. The guy was like, "Are you him?" And I go, "Only if you see me on the post office wall." And he's like, "I watch your show," and I'm thinking, "You poor guy, you don't have anything to do with that hour in your life." But
Your
okay,
your
so
your standard response should be, "No, your eyes are not deceiving you. It is me.
it is me, Riza.
It is me."
That's what I'm going to do. But before the show, Rizzo was complaining how he hated people, and I concur. I am very much the same way. I'm not like a
I
big people
I
fan.
think this is just it's a byproduct of living in 2025. The world is slightly more congested.
Yeah,
There is trouble in the world. There's always been trouble in the world, apart from the 80s, when the only trouble was um, like far away. It was on
yeah.
your TV, didn't really affect you. Now
In a
everything affects
galaxy
you.
far,
Yeah,
far
social
away.
media
Yeah,
makes it a little bit more immediate, not a little bit, very immediate, live,
yeah,
current,
yeah.
responsive, everything. So we live in a congested world. And to bring it on to the cigar point, these little huffs, these little lockdowns, and if anyone's
Yes,
interested
yes.
in what I'm talking about, they can go to my social media, which is just
Right there,
there,
right there, right
and you
there.
can see stories of what happened yesterday evening. Nothing
Yeah,
dramatic, yeah,
yeah.
but we have these kind of little sort of. I think the nicest gathering of people is probably the maximum number is four. That includes
Really?
me. Yeah, I
Okay.
think
I always thought the nicest gathering of people was one, but that's just me. So.
well, I mean, that's not a gathering, but that's a very very different scenario. The
Yeah,
gathering of one, let's call
yeah,
it the gathering of one, is very different to any other gathering,
that is true.
because it's
Yeah,
very contemplative, it's
yeah.
very lonely, it's very solitary,
Well,
it's sort of very
according to Three Dog
suicidal.
Night, one is the loneliest number. So there you go. And then sometimes two can be as bad as one, but one is the loneliest number.
Hang on,
So
give me a sec.
you were three other people at your herf. The three of you and you made four. And how was and he left. And he just disappeared. And there you go. And now I'm stuck here doing the live show with no Riza. So we were talking about, for those fans that are here, the herf. So while we wait for everybody to come back, we will, I think, run a commercial. if we have any. And if not, you're stuck with me while I wait for the boys to come back. Oh, there he is. Something I said?
Like these are called live interruptions. You know when you're like watching those bloopers, like
Yep. This
Anchorman
is a
bloopers
blooper.
and things like that, right?
Yeah.
It's like on live fucking TV. I mean, this is more important than live TV.
I mean, this is more important than the BBC. Are you kidding? This is people from around the globe because we look at the statistics because we post other places other than YouTube and we have the podcast. The podcast every week, if you don't want to watch us and you want to listen to us, the podcast is exploded. We look at the stats and people from around the world listen to the podcast. And on YouTube, we have a very big international audience now that YouTube automatically translates into a language, another language, in like 20 different languages. So we have people from all around the world that watch this show.
I'm still, my mind is elsewhere. I'm still fucking pissed off.
What are you pissed off now about?
Just constant fucking interruptions. I don't understand
They like
how, for this 1 hour or 1 hour, 20 minutes, yeah,
3
that
hours, yeah.
the world has to converge with the message. The messages are fucking relentless. And I'm not talking on this channel. I'm just talking private messages.
Yeah.
They could catch me at any time before or after, but no. Boom, boom, boom. Anyway.
Because they know you're doing the show. They're watching the show, and that's how they're going to be part
these
of
are
the
people
show.
who specifically are watching the show. Specifically,
Right.
like, with family and, well, I won't call them friends. I don't really have friends. I just have sort of like...
acquaintances.
You
Perf guys.
couldn't really call them acquaintances. You couldn't really call them... It's basically sort of like hangers-on.
Oh, my God. So anyway, these hangers-on that call you, you know what you'll do is you'll give me the addresses later. Nunzio and Rocco will go help them find their wallet. It'll be
Nunzio and Rocco.
Yeah.
Nunzio and Rocco sound like two Jewish Italian mafioso.
Yeah, they Nunzio and Rocco have been with me forever, and the joke from that is
a blend.
They're a blend. Nunzio and Rocco, they help me do things, but the joke from that is if you ever saw Caddyshack,
which I haven't seen.
Well, that's your fault.
I'm not a golfer. I don't get.
It doesn't matter. That movie has nothing to do with golf. That movie is all Rodney Dangerfield and Chevy Chase.
The clues in the name.
Yeah, but there's a sex scene in it, and it involves a golf club and a golf ball. It's crazy. There's a gopher because you can't kill the gophers. Bill Murray is in it. I mean, this is a classic. Anyway, at the very end, when Ted Baxter, who plays the judge, doesn't pay Rodney Dangerfield his money, he goes, Moose, Rocco, help the judge find his wallet. So that's where Nunzio and Rocco helping them find their wallet comes from. So there you go. That's the whole movie. Now you've seen it, but you really should see it. Kenny Loggins has the music for it.
Kenny Loggins of Top Gun fame.
Yeah, well, he was Caddyshack fame before that. He's part of Loggins and Messina. Remember Loggins and Messina? Your mama can't dance and your daddy can't rock and roll. That's Kenny Loggins.
I have no clue what you're talking about. Like,
you've never heard that song?
Well, I was. Is this from the 1920s or 30s?
It's from the 1820s. It's a great song. It was before talkies. We used to dance to that stuff.
I haven't heard. No, it's unusual. I haven't heard this song. I think there's a repertoire of movies that I think everyone has this, right? There are movies that you kind of expected to have seen, and you just simply haven't. There's unbelievably people out there. I mean, I won't say unbelievably, but there are people who haven't seen Star Wars, for example, who are qualified to have seen Star Wars age-wise, right? Yeah. You'll find chinks in everyone's armor.
Whoa. We don't make fun of the Chinese people.
Well, you just did.
That. We are show.
You just did. I used a turn of phrase, but you just made the fun.
I did not. Listen, I love all...
Point noted. There's a whole nation watching you now. There's a whole fucking nation watching you, right?
I've talked to the panda, Xi. I call him Panda affectionately because we love each other. And I've told him I love all 2 billion of your people. So they know I love them. They know. In fact, if you realize it, in every wallet that's sold in China, there's a picture of me in it. That's how much I love them. Yeah. So anyway, there's a chink in the armor for a non-Asian chink. But go ahead.
What was it talking about? I
don't know. You said that there's a repertoire of movies that everyone's expected to see. People haven't seen Star Wars.
Like
blah, blah,
when it
blah.
comes to culture and media, etc., there's always bits and pieces missing with people. And for me, like this Caddyshack stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not really at all at all attracted to any sports. There's some sports movies that I've seen, yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
not really. I always had this. I'm not a spectator. If there's a sport, I'd rather be playing it than be spectating it. I think spectating is
Yeah.
basically you're putting your energy to people who are actually there to win or lose, and you get nothing out of it.
Well, like I like to
It's like
watch
watching
F1.
Formula One. You see this
Yeah.
fucking prick going around the track. What's his name? Lewis Hamilton, yeah? And
Oh my
everyone's
God,
rooting for him, yeah?
he
He's got
sucks
a
this.
fucking.
Listen, Hamilton sucks this year, so you should watch
He
it. It's a
sucks every
fun
year.
sport.
Winning doesn't make you a winner.
Well,
Just
I know.
remember
I'm
that.
just
That's a very
saying.
good point. Winning doesn't
Have you
make
seen?
you a
All right,
winner.
let me ask you this: have you
In
seen
his
the
case,
F1
winning
car
makes him a
movie?
tosser.
Yeah, he's a tosser. Anyway, have you seen
I'd
the F1 car
rather
movie?
he would be a very cool dude if he
Yeah,
always came second or third, in my
he does
opinion,
now.
right?
He comes second, third, fourth,
Yeah, but
fifth, sixth, seventh.
he's got that arrogant swagger. He's a fucking
All right,
lamentable character. I just
all right.
and that's something wrong with this world. People who love Lewis Hamilton,
I
they have
don't
to
love him.
reflect. They have to reflect, self-reflect a little bit. I think what they should
Here's
do is
here's
smoke
what I
a
like about
decent Cuban
I like
cigar
this.
and chill out,
I like the
or a
strategy of
Davidoff.
F1. Yeah, yeah, Davidoff. Gotta have Davidoff. I like the strategy of F1. So for me, it's very much all the strategy of it, the
F1
tires.
can F off.
Wow. Well, they were going to
Well,
be a
there's a turn
sponsor
of
next week.
expression.
So yeah, F off. Well, I usually just say the full word. But they were going to be a sponsor next week because of the F1. But
They can fuck
things,
off. They can
well,
fuck off.
apparently they won't be now. So
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah. So just because I said something, yeah.
That's right, because
Just
you
because of
said
me.
for the F1 to go pound salt. Now they're not going to be a sponsor. Oh well.
Yeah,
Oh,
those are
Davidoff.
the.
Thank God we have Davidoff.
Thank God we have to have.
Davidoff, and we have the Habanos
This
cigar
is
people
savior
out of Cuba.
Davidoff. Right?
Thank God we have
One
Davidoff and
luxury
Habanos.
brand.
Yeah, that's
There
it.
you
They
go.
have those are the only
But
two sponsors we're ever going to
hang
have
on,
is
hang on,
Habanos and Davidoff.
hang on. Time to be a little bit strategically naughty.
All right.
Before Usman joins us, what are we going to get on this
Ooh.
case about?
Oh, everything. He's at his mom's. So if you read the title of the show, Uzman's mom strikes again because his mom won't let him smoke a cigar. So we're going to make fun of him about that, of
I
course.
don't think that's the case. I think in sort of like a much more Eastern centric culture, let's put it that way, an Eastern centric as opposed to Western centric culture. I think we're all a little bit more sensitive about our parents. All a little bit more sensitive about family. We're all a little bit more sensitive about what we can do, what we can't do. Just a little bit,
Oh,
not
really?
just a little bit, not too much.
Okay.
Just a little bit. It's like, but so I don't think his mother is giving him a hard time. I think Usman's giving himself a hard time by
Oh,
not
well, they're going
smoking.
to
I
bust
think
his
it's
chops. We'll bust Princess's chops because you heard the voicemail that I left Princess. Because Princess, for the fans, sent us a text message 25 minutes before the show's supposed to start and says, according to my watch, I'm like, congratulations, you can tell time. We don't start for 25 minutes. And my retort was, whatever you say, Princess, as soon as Riza gets on, we're starting. For you, the show starts, if you will, top of the hour. For us, it starts the minute the two of us get together and start talking. So we'll be picking on Princess for lots of stuff today. So, and he
so
sets
just
himself up for it. It's not like it's not a whatchamacallit. It's not that like it's hard.
So just to recap before he gets here, I
Yeah.
had a herf yesterday evening with three other individuals,
Yeah.
with the Bruce Lee of cigars himself, Zhao,
Oh yes.
who's in town for a day before fucking off somewhere else around the world.
Yeah.
And with Christian from Tom Tom
Let me
and
pick
one
that
of
up.
our new circle members, Fateh. So
What's his
he
name?
is Fateh,
Oh, this is easy
and
for you to
he
say.
is a Burgermeister. He's literally a food engineer. He will engineer food, whether it's fast food or gourmet food,
Right.
um, from like literally from every single angle. And he's opened this fabulous burger place in London near Victoria Station. Very
Yeah.
almost unpronounceable name. It's sort of Japanese style burgers, sort of an Asian fusion burgers, Hanaburger Sutiki.
Bless you.
And he joined us for this herf, and we smoked some. I think now, because I was mildly inebriated
You mean
yesterday
drunk?
evening,
Yeah.
mildly inebriated, which is an
Drunk.
understatement and a half. I
Yeah.
recall I was smoking an A. Chapman Connoisseur B, very loaded,
Nice.
heavy stick, which Christian pulled out of the humidor. That was a fabulous smoke. But there we go. There he is. There he is.
Princess
There he
is
is.
here,
There he
ladies
is.
and
There he is.
gentlemen. Yes,
There he is.
there she has made it to the show. She's a minute early. Congratulations, you're a minute early. Oh my God, the world is coming to an end. Let
The world
us
is coming
stop
to
what
an
we're
end.
doing because Princess
Now,
has made the show. ladies and gentlemen.
before Usman actually starts talking, I'm going to actually pose a question to Usman straight away, straight off the bat, as they say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usman, what are your feelings on smoking a Partagas Culebra without taking it apart?
Even if you were not going to say anything about that, I was going to rip you and someone else apart on that part. But
No, what are
I
your
think
feelings? This is the
Wait,
forum
wait.
to express your feelings.
Before you give your before you give us your
please,
feelings,
please,
it's not that we don't care.
credits.
Before we give us your feelings, not that we don't care. We really
No,
don't.
why don't you just give us the feelings? Why don't we just abandon the start of the show?
No,
We have to do the start for
First,
legal reasons because we're going to talk
the
about
credits.
cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have to do the legal thing. So on the count of three, we're going to start.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
Welcome to Habanos Saturday, the fastest growing cigar show on YouTube with over 100,000 subscribers. Come join us every Saturday live.
Let's do this.
Every Saturday live.
And I sent you the thing for the private link for the fans, and you didn't even text it out. You've had like 4 hours to get the fan link out for LinkedIn.
Who?
You.
Who?
You on our special chat group we have with the fans. I sent you the link for YouTube, and you didn't even put it out. How do they even know we're live?
They know exactly.
They don't know we're live. We have to help
Please.
them. They're your.
And
they're
the live reversed is evil.
Yes, we know.
And if you, it's also an anagram of vile.
Well, I've seen the show, and I agree. So.
Okie dokie. Yeah.
It's also a tribe of Israel, Levi.
The Levi's, yes. You would think he would do all this stuff before he comes on the show.
No, I'm going through it now.
Yeah, I know. Great. We're going to do this all day. So listen. Oh, look, he finally sent it out to all the fans. Look at you. Look at you being on top of things. You're amazing. Wow.
You are right
one
on
fucking job.
This is called just in time, as the Japanese say.
Yeah, we were just talking about the chinks. Anyway, let's talk about the Partagas and go from there. So go ahead.
So what are your thoughts, Usman?
If you want to do that, my thoughts are, where is the so Stephen?
If anyone knows, by the way, if anyone wants to know what I'm talking about, just go to my social media stories. You understand. Go on, Usman.
Chow is smoking something that looks like he should be in a porno movie. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I will give you the context, Stephen, because I know it is unfair to you that we have a conversation, we've not even given you the context about it, and especially the fans. The only problem is I'm just trying to fix this shit, which is,
I don't want to be rude or anything, but 30 minutes ago when you told me what time it was, and I appreciate that because I'm impressed that you can tell time. If I remember, you have 30 minutes to set this all up. So, but no, you do it live, and I think the fans appreciate that kind of dedication to the show.
See, that's the point. That's exactly the point. The fans should know we are so much authentic. Now this is it. Right. Okay. Right. So just to give you the context, and anyone who is not so far been entertained by Alizarde Cigars, they should visit Instagram and the stories where a very dear friend of Alizarde, and by virtue of that, a friend of ours, who I regard very highly when it comes to the knowledge of cigars and everything, yesterday lost by 2 points in my books. And why I say that is because he was smoking a Culebra, a Partagas Culebra, which comes in a wrapping of 3 in a coffin box. The whole concept and the purpose of that is those are 3 cigars and primarily to share amongst 3 friends. Why Or if you're too greedy and you do not wish to share it with your friends, like
Riza.
he was, like he was yesterday. Otherwise, he
Yeah.
could have shared it with Raza and Christian because it was a
Right.
lockdown. It was a special moment for those, and he did not. And he tried to stuff that shit,
Yep.
all three cigars, in his mouth. And I was just so worried. What the hell is happening? I'm
I saw
sure
that.
once Jao
I
is,
saw
I'm
that.
sure,
I saw that.
yeah, I'm sure once Jao is gonna listen to me, he's gonna hate me before even meeting me. But
No,
I'm
just so
sure
you
I
know,
couldn't help.
he already hates you. So this isn't really going to do any. He already hates you, so you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. So,
If that's the case, then I'm fine. The only thing that I would, and for the people who
Hello,
love Raza
Peter. Hello,
and
Urs.
hello. So for the people who love Raza already and watch Raza's comic book in form of Instagram,
yeah.
I would just try to tell all of them that Raza, I think because of that last night shenanigans, you might have lost some followers. Not
Everyone.
knowing the people did not even know the fact that that was not you who was doing it, but the mere fact that you did that and you
I'm
put that
actually.
on your
Actually,
post.
that's what makes it interesting. It makes it a talking point.
I judge you. I judge you for letting him do that for this long. That not only he lit up, he actually smoked them for some time. While, as per the news tells, ultimately giving up and learning the lesson that those are three cigars to
He
be
didn't
smoked
learn.
single.
He didn't learn a lesson. He didn't learn a lesson.
Oh shit!
What this young man said to me was the only way to smoke it and to get the best out of that flavor profile is to smoke the three together. You get a very unusual. Now he may be right about that, but I have a feeling ego took over because he just refused to admit that that's not how you should smoke. He had to give up
Right.
with it
Yeah, I think
about
so.
3 inches of cigar left.
That's crazy though. But I mean, even I
That's
know
a
that
well. That's a
you unbind them.
that's
I mean,
yeah.
Usman and I have shared culebras in Lahore, and I'll be honest with you. I have. It's a very unusual looking cigar. It has a surprise element when you open the box and you take the ribbons off. But it smokes absolutely amazing. Never had a bad culebra in my life. Never had a bad culebra. They always smoke through, very chocolatey, etc. I'm wondering because I tried to take a puff on the conjoined cigar yesterday. I couldn't do it. It's
Right.
very difficult to get
You
draw on that
cannot.
cigar
You cannot.
because
You
there's too
cannot.
much air coming in on the sides because there's so much air gap between the three physical cigars. Even if you took
Gentle.
three straight cigars, if you took three straight cigars and banded them together, try drawing on them. It's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but who would
Gentlemen,
do that?
there
That's
is a
dumb.
possibility.
Yeah. What's
Pardon?
the possibility?
Possibility of what?
I know you said there is a possibility, and then you stopped.
Yeah, there. Oh, yeah. So there is a possibility that one of our very dear brothers of the Leaf might join.
Okay.
He asked me for the link. I've sent him the link. I'm not sure whether what he wanted was to participate in order to view it, or it is something that he wanted to join as, someone who wants to participate. So let's see. I mean, we will know in the next 5 minutes.
Which you sent him both links then.
I've sent him both links. So I
Okay.
clarified to him. I mean, the first link had gone already, so that's where he asked me.
Okay.
Right. So moving on from the fiasco of Culebras and what I regard as a judgment point and a negative brownie point for Raza and Jao, I will move on to today's brand in terms of the Habanos history,
Before you do
which
that, did you see Cigarland's comment on it? He said it's a very nice
yes,
and a
yes.
pricey, and it's aged. It's unsurprised. It's the perfect for the value. There you go. It's the perfect cigar smoke.
Right. I can sense the pun intended by our dear friend Urs,
Yes.
especially when he has specifically said it, the pricey and aging part
Yeah.
in this case. So we'll see. Oh, Usman, you're half hidden. Who says that?
Yes.
Who says that?
Well, you know, the good thing is, just
He's
for the
talking
fan
about
that said,
life. He's talking about
he's, yeah,
life generally.
he's
Usman,
hasn't.
you're half hidden.
And yes, and we do
No,
have a
I'm not.
cigar. No, he's there. We can see all of him. We're the ones hiding him on our side. We're trying to just make it that it's just a silhouette, like witness
Yeah.
protection.
Right.
And then I have some
Blur it
lady friends who have not a problem with the draw of 3 cigars at the same time. Can you pass their phone number on? Okay, I like
and
that.
price
Yes.
list and price
And
list as well.
priceless, yes, we like the priceless. We do have a surprise guest, but before we bring Uzman's brother of the leaf in, which we can see in the green room, we're going to have Uzman do the history of the cigar, unless you want to bring him in first, Uzman.
We can bring him in. We can bring him in.
You want to introduce him?
Yeah, I will do that. Bring him in.
Okay. Well, we'll introduce him. We're waiting for you to introduce him.
Well, okay, right. So, I'm not very sure actually if he's the one in the green room or not, but okay, fine.
All right, well, here, we're going to bring him in. There you go. That's who's in the green room,
yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Hello. So, ladies and gentlemen, whosoever has joined today and will be watching later, the fourth gentleman that you see, the young man in sitting in a sofa. We're not referring to you, Riza, for now. Wait. Right. The young man who's sitting on my right in the screen, who's just taken off the glasses, is a very, very, very seasoned, serious, and senior from the terms of collection. I would say cigar collector and a cigar smoker. Someone I connected now almost a little over or a little more than a year because of Cigar Keep. And someone I started learning from because someone who's not into the profession but has a lot of knowledge, has been in the thick and thin of things from a collection point of view and from somewhere who wants to and who's actually interested in keeping the facts and histories together.
Well, that's something this show's never done. So.
Yeah, well, this time. See, there's always a first time. So welcome to the show, Jean-Marie. And thank you very much for actually not only tuning in, but saying that how can you join. So before we actually get to listen to the stories and have a conversation with you, there is a very small segment that we do in the beginning of the show. That is in terms of the histories of the brands. I'm very certain today we will learn something more in addition to what I'm going to share. But for this week, the brand that we were practically now, the 2-3 brands that we are left with are the short filler cigars. And this brand is someone which is primarily known a little more as compared to the other volume-based brands in the Habanos portfolio. So we are talking about Quintero. Quintero is a short filler brand when it comes to the construction
Usman's
of
favorite
the cigar.
brand.
It is. Oh yeah, of course, and Urs also. I mean, I just got to know about that. So, the brand was introduced in 1924, and the actual official name, so which makes it a pre-revolutionary brand. The brand's full name is
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Quintero and Brother. So it is classified again as a volume brand. That is why you would find it in bigger bundles or bigger boxes. So you don't find smaller packs other than a 5-pack of one of the vitolas that comes in. Technically considered, it's a low quality brand, and on a price point, it is an extremely low end segment. So want to just get Cuban brands or just want to show off, who are not cigar smokers and want to waste money, I would still say better to smoke this than a fake Hiba, because at least you know there is something that you're smoking which is authentic and had some form of quality control. Because it's a volume brand, it's a lower tier brand, it is not specific to Vuelta Bajo region, but it is also made in the semi Vuelta regions as well. For now, the vitolas that are in production or in availability in the market, there are six. Londres Extra, Brevas, uh, Panatilas, if I'm not wrong, Favoritos, which is the widely available, generally in the form of a tube as well, Petit Quintero, and Tubulares, which is also in the form of a tube. So this is a short, sweet, and little history about the brand Quintero from the volume-based brands in the Habanos portfolio.
That was. Can I tell you? The fans are tears are coming from my eyes. I'm just. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
touched.
yeah.
Later. I'm going to touch
Understood.
myself and sing show tunes. I'm just telling you that was a beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Just. I'm sorry. And now let's talk to our guest. That'd be awesome.
Yes, I can see Urs actually has a point. So Urs, now that you've said it, I will get a few and throw them at the back of my humidor. And if I recall after 10 years, I will try and see them because he says many Quinteros are very good in relation for the value if they're aged, many,
Right.
but not all. And the best part, he says, oh, cool, Yomari. So,
Yeah.
Yomari, it's over to you, a little bit about yourself, and then we'll dive into certain conversations from there.
Yeah. Hi, Usman. Thank you for inviting me.
Hello.
And hi, guys. I don't know
Nice to
you.
meet you.
Sometime I see you on YouTube. My name is Jean-Marie Genanji, and I'm basically an old git. And
Oh,
I
then you're
have
a part of the
been.
club.
I have been. No, you are young people. I have been smoking. Well, according to history. I started the first cigar. I was 9 years old, and then I passed out after smoking three puffs. And fast forward today, I am one of the modest vintage cigar collectors, and I have been smoking throughout. When you introduced me, Osman, you mentioned history, and I want to touch a little bit on history. Really, I'm not the person to talk about the new cigars. I have very little experience with new cigars. Or I stopped when they started the Limitada and the Reserva and the Aniversario and the regional, and it was getting out of hands. Uh,
Sure.
so, I smoke the old stuff, which is I'm lucky to still have the old stuff to smoke. Anyway, you mentioned history, and this is a very big and important subject for anybody interested in the history of Cuban cigars. There is a huge lot of misinformation all across the board. There is a huge lot of misinformation, and even myself, who consider myself a seasoned uh, vintage cigar smoker, Cuban cigar smoker. Uh, Only last week, I don't remember why, uh, I I was looking at some of my cigars, and I had a small humidor box besides the walk-in. I have a small humidor box where I put single sticks, usually for immediate smoking. So instead of going and, I'll just pick up. And strangely enough, there was a Hoyo de Monterrey double Corona sitting next to a Partagás Lusitanians. And they did not look the same in terms of girth and length. And I wondered, what the hell is happening here? Okay, I mean, they are double Corona, they are Prominente, and they should be the same. So as usual, with the curiosity, I picked up the gauge sizer, and lo and behold, uh, the Lusitania is 190 millimeters, and the Hoyo is 190 millimeter, The Lusitania is 49, and the Hoyo is 50. I picked up, opened the Cohiba, opened the Monte the punch, and it's the same story. And I looked at Mineral Me Encyclopedia, and it states for all double coronas, all prominente, it states clearly that it's a
49.
194. It's a 194. Well, I'm sorry, it is not a 194. Either my cigars are fake cigars, which is next to impossible, or there is someone who is continuing the mistake. So Min Rani has got 190. The guy with the beard and the weird hair,
Alex
what's his
Bloom.
name? Alex? Yeah,
Alex
that's
Bloom.
it. Has got it at 194. You open any cigar website and it's 19, and it is not 194. That is rubbish. And please, guys, forget what I'm saying. Open your own humidor, take your own cigar, double Corona, measure it, and if it is a 194, let me know. I could not see any 194 unless today the new production is 194. I don't know. But at the time when Milrani wrote the book, it was not 2025. It was what, 10, 15 years ago, or maybe more. I don't remember it. Actually, it's more. It's around 2000, 2000. Anyway,
It's
please
more.
do
It's more.
check. Do double check.
It's
Yeah,
yeah.
please do double check.
It's before 2000 years. Yes.
If I
Yeah.
can
I should do that.
if I can ask you a question, we had Urs on a couple weeks ago, and he was telling us about his collection. That's scattered all through Switzerland, all the 50 million sticks. How many cigars do you have in your collection? These old, yeah, right. Crazy question. Vintage cigars. It's not like Riza and I are going to show up tomorrow at the house. We'll be there at noon. But how many to help you smoke them? But how many cigars would you say that you have in your collection, if I may ask?
Well, it depends. It depends if we are talking about vintage.
Right.
It depends if we are talking about newer cigars.
How about
And it
both? If
depends,
you
and
you
depends if we are talking about the cigars that I'm smoking.
right.
Uh, to be honest with you, I never counted them. It should be around the 10K or something.
Okay.
It should be around this figure. But I never bothered to count. I mean, I
Well, you're
should
smoking.
obviously.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm smoking the middle ones. I don't smoke the 1960 stuff.
Okay.
I'd love to smoke it. I'm waiting for, I don't know, a special occasion to smoke the 1960. One 1960, which is blows me away each time, which is the TV Carling K Figurado. Each time, this is a 1960 box. You can see it in my interview with Kirby
Yes.
Allison on Cigar
Yes.
Key. If each time I open this box, and I don't open it often, I open it, I don't know, each 2, 3 years, maybe just once. And as you open the aroma hits you. It's a 1960 cigar. It's not supposed to stink Cuban cigar aroma, but that's what it was at that time. And obviously, I always say that this level of cigar, you are not smoking cigars, you are smoking money. Uh, so, so yeah, I mean, I don't know I don't know the quantity. And then they are all over the world in different houses, in different.
Okay.
Anyway, so coming back to history, uh, history tells you that any story has to be verifiable. Has to be verifiable either scientifically or by people who have witnessed or have this particular piece of the story. And I'm you gentlemen, you are very much versed into the subject, so please do measure the double corona that you might have, and let me know. I'd love to be corrected that it's not 190, it is 194. And
But
this Osman's, yep,
Yes.
I was going to say, Jean-Marie,
yep.
there is no end of explanations I've heard from different people. I'm actually curious. You said this. I actually want to know what you think the reason behind it is, because some people will say, as an artisan product, it varies. Some people will say with aging, you might get shrinkage. Some people will say Cuba, such a secretive place, they'll write one thing, you don't know what will come out. So it's very hard for me to understand what is the exact reason, or it could be a combination of reasons. What reason do you think it is? Are you,
The,
because it could be mis-selling. Someone could say this very negatively. Say it's just mis-selling. You're getting less tobacco for what you think you're getting. What do
you
you
have two
think it is?
you have two reasons. Uh, don't forget, at that time there was no computers and digital data, and everything was written by hand. And the only two people who had the original cigar reference number. You see, those guys rolling cigars in Cuba, they did not know what they were rolling. They were
That's
just
right.
rolling cigars. Okay, they didn't have a clue what they were rolling. It's later on that you put the band on it, and frankly, you could put the band on anything. You could put the band of a Monte Cristo on a Romeo Julieta, and nobody's gonna find out what the hell has happened. So you have this administrative lack of administration, lack of standard, lack of rigidity in the standard. That's number one. And number two, it's a mistake that has been
Systematic error.
subsequently
It just perpetuates it.
systematic error. Now I have I'm a bit lazy, and I'm not lazy. I'm busy doing other things than the cigars. It started, the first eye opener for me was two eye openers. I had some figurados, and I couldn't make out what the hell they were. They were naked figurados, and they
Okay.
were hidden, and then they were well preserved, and obviously I must have attached importance to those figurado. I didn't know what they were. Uh, and I picked up different figurados and measured them, and these particular ones were not the same size. Uh, and I asked a friend, Mitchell Orchon of Cigars in Mayfair in UK. Mitch and me, we go back since 1999. And I asked him, I said, is it possible that the Bolivar Belicosos Finos, is it possible that they were available in cabs of 50? Because I have naked ones sitting in this very, very special Yumi. And he said, yes. I said, are you sure? He said, yes. I said, I need to find the box. The other thing that I did, or I did, is try different way of preserving cigars. And at a certain stage, it was cigars that were picked out of the box and placed in the, well, now the walk-in room. At that time, I didn't have a walk-in. Uh, so the Bolivar, I guess 1980. No, it's more than 1980. Sorry, it's less than 1980. I don't know, I forget. They were the different size from the current Bolivar. Uh, so that's the first one that piqued my curiosity. The second one that piqued my curiosity for sizes and history uh, is the Bolivar Gold Medal. And what happened again at that time? Yes, I was talking about the rollers who don't know what they are rolling. I have been offered Cohiba 50 or 55 anniversary when they made was it 50 Usman or 55 anniversary few years ago,
Where,
2-3 years
and it was
ago.
55, 55.
Fi-
3 years ago in
55
2022,
anniversary.
55. Yes.
Yeah, so I was offered by somebody in Cuba, a high placed official in Cuba. I was offered cigars, and he said that these are Cohiba 55, and they were 1 inch taller than the 55 that these are available. And I said, what the, what the hell is the, this is, I mean, are you kidding me? Is this? He said, yes, this is before it's cut. So, Cuba is a secret on its own.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
It's a hidden economy. And that, but the thing is, that's what is marketed in a positive way. It's like very bespoke artisan product. Good luck what you're gonna get. And sometimes there's a surprise
so,
element to it, and sometimes there's a
so,
shortchange element to it.
so at that time, long time ago, Richard, Minron me, nickname Richard, we had a discussion. He was the only person who had the Cuban cigar reference number. So it was not referred to as Robusto, Prominente, Corona, or whatever. It was referred as a 265, 132, 374. And this is how
Right,
they
right.
would refer to it. And
Yep.
someone had a list, and this list said 374 is a Prominente, 196 is a XYZ, and so on. So nobody, I mean, very few people knew about it. And Richard was, I don't know how he got it. Maybe, what's the name of the other guy? Gave it to him. He had a list, not the complete list. He had a list of the numbers. I have only a couple of folios of the numbers. He had much more than I do. Uh, so rightly, as you have commented, uh, it was a secret economy, and I call it whatever you want. A secret economy is a good word. Why not? And coming back finally to the Bolivar gold medal, I have a box of gold medal. I think that is a 1980 box of gold medal. That was the original one. And when they launched recently, what was it, last year? They launched the new gold medal.
Two
Year
years
before
ago,
I
last.
think
2023.
Year before last.
2023. Yeah,
23.
2023.
year before last. And I said to myself, I already had other more recent boxes of releases. I said I might as well add the last 2023 box. And again, I mean, all this is really by accident and not by design. Uh, yes, I have placed on my Instagram, I have
Yeah.
placed both gold medal side by side, and they were not the same length. And I asked somebody I will not name. I said, "What's the size?" He said, "XYZ." I said, "Are you sure?" I think the original one was shorter. He said, "No, no, no, they are all." Okay, fine. So the conversation didn't go anywhere because he didn't know what he's talking about. I had them physically, in front of my eyes in my home. Uh, to cut short on a dissertation on the history or a small part of history. Um, you have to verify. You really have to verify whatever you do. I'm not talking about new stuff. As I said, I'm not knowledgeable about the new stuff. But if you want to delve into 90s and 80s and 60s, you have to be very, very careful and double check uh, whether whatever you have or you are buying is a genuine McCoy, or it differs from those encyclopedias and reference books that are written around. So thank you for listening to me.
No, thank you for
No,
telling us.
Very,
I do have
very
another
interesting
question.
stuff.
What got you involved in collecting?
Sorry,
What got you involved with collecting like cigars from the
it was
1960s or the
it
80s?
everything is an accident. Everything was
Okay.
an accident. And I was in. I mean, really, you should watch the interview with Kirby. I was in Cairo, and I used to 19, 1981, 1982. And I used to purchase cigar from the local Cuban cigar. There was no LCDH. So I used to buy cigar from the local Cuban distributor, who was at the same time the agent for Kodak, the usual
Right.
distributors. And he was the sales guy who was selling everything. Was a very nice guy, and he came to me one day to the office, and my secretary told me that XYZ want to see you. I would like to see you. I said, okay. I mean, he doesn't have an appointment. Let him come in. He came in. Hello, hello. How are you? He said, uh, Cuba has decided to change distributor. Okay, okay, very interesting. What the hell has it got to do with me if you want to change the distributor? And he said, we are sleeping. We've got a large quantity of cigars. Would you like to buy it? And I said, yes, if it is, 2, 3 boxes, 4 boxes,
Right.
I'll buy it. And he said, no, it's not 2, 3 boxes. It's a whole bloody stock. So we agreed on a price. And he sent it over and that is why I'm telling you, I don't know how many.
Gotcha.
Since the 80s, I don't know how many. Kirby asked me the question, and I said, I don't know. I told him maybe 50% are left or 40% are left. I
Right.
don't know how much is left. I don't go and visit each 5 minutes at different houses to see what the hell is there here and there. So sorry, it was by accident I
That's
started
fine. I
collecting.
just because the fans. So not everybody knows who Kirby is, and not everybody gets invited to the private herf. So our fans are global. So we want to make sure we ask. We need to be asking the same questions because they would have an interest because of who you are. So that's why we ask.
Yeah.
So and a lot of these
Oh,
people
okay.
can
and
guess
and
about
also
Kirby. Yeah.
and
I will
also for the
elaborate. I
people
don't have a problem in
for the
Yeah.
elaborating.
Yeah.
for the people
Uh,
who want to know more about Jean-Marie and his collection, a little bit, or just tip of the iceberg kind of a collection, they can actually visit his Instagram handle, which is Habanos_vintage_cigars. So it is Habanos_vintage_cigars. And that is where you will actually see that probably the newest cigar that I've seen on that website, sorry, on that handle is Trinidad Robusto Extra from the 55th anniversary. And anything else you see is generally something that you only see in the vintage category, with some of the diplomatic ones as well. So that is like the kind of stuff that we are talking. It is very, um, I would say, knowing the kind of person Yomari is and the collection, I think his Instagram handle does not justify it at all. But I think that is also by design to keep all the riffraff out and just the serious ones who really want to know and learn more can
The
see from
riffraff.
there.
It's the
No, we
riffraff.
weren't
He's
talking.
referring to you and I, Riza. We're the riffraff,
He's right.
apparently.
He's
So
right.
that's right.
Usman, that was an
He's got that correct.
underhanded slide by Usman.
Steven, there was no pun intended or no direction of this fire towards you. It was only towards the gentleman who made or who let another person smoke 3 culebras, stick together, smoke together.
You can't
So
stop.
that is why
Someone wants to
I don't
experiment.
give
It's
a
their tobacco.
damn.
Let them. If they
If
want to
you
put it in
were
their ear,
there,
they can put it in their ear. If they want to smoke it, they can smoke it.
Hey,
It's
you
their
know, you
choice.
should ask Jean-Marie
yeah,
what he thinks of that, of Zhao thinking the
Jean-Marie,
three together.
Jean-Marie. Okay, so I don't know
Yeah,
if you know or not, but so you know the Partagas calibras, like the 3
yeah. I,
cigars,
I
and
tried
right?
it long time ago.
Yes. So how do you smoke that cigar? You smoke all 3
You
together, or you
unravel
smoke
it and
single?
smoke.
Thank
No,
you very
single,
much.
single.
Thank you very much. Thank you
No,
very much.
single.
Last
Yeah,
last
no,
point. Last point of fairness,
Jean-Marie
Raza.
already knows what the follow-up question is. God, I can see all that wisdom. I can see all that
Yeah,
wisdom. You see this, so I'm gonna pay Jean-Marie a little bit of a compliment, right? Which he doesn't need, and he's already heard this before. This is the kind of old world smoker that
yeah,
these are the kind of people, and this is the kind of experiences that even people like me, we're trying to capture a very non-pretentious way of smoking. It was an incidental way. It was a way of interest. It's not about collecting cigars. It's just you incidentally end up with lots of cigars because you smoke
right,
them. So you just keep buying boxes and you say, okay, I'll smoke this later. It's not. It's the I don't believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jean-Marie. Yeah, it's not. The intention wasn't I want to have 10,000 cigars. You just end up having them lying around, and then you have to store them, and and then because you've been doing it such a long time, some of them have become really special. And then you think, okay, well, this one I can't smoke. As you say, you're not smoking a cigar, you're smoking money. So I have to find a very, very nice opportunity to smoke something I picked up in 1983. And I have to really work out when I want to smoke it. This is in huge contrast to the modern day younger smokers. There's
right,
nothing wrong with the younger smokers experimenting. That's fine. They have to get into the industry one way or the other. But it's much more social media orientated. It's more lifestyle orientated. And it kind of feels this less enjoyment. The enjoyment comes from things other than cigars rather than the cigar. It comes, I don't know, from the wine pairing or the lifestyle or those things are fine. This is old world. It's actually very nice. Jean-Marie came on. It's very nice. Usman facilitated it. You're now time traveling. You're now time traveling to an era where these cigars mattered
yeah,
the product mattered.
right.
It was about the
yes, of
product.
course. Yeah.
No, we
Yes,
say
you
of
are.
course, but I'm telling you, I'm not much younger than you, Jean-Marie. I may look it, but I'm not much younger than you.
He's probably older. He's probably older than you.
Wow.
Just so you know, he's
How
probably
old, how
older.
much
old,
older than
how old,
Stephen.
how old are you?
Much older than you think I am.
I am 73 years old.
You're 73.
No.
We are almost the same age, Jean-Marie. I'm
Oh, great.
yes, I'm 72.
And Uzman is 12. So we're still shocked that he looks
I
like
was
that at 12.
I knew it's gonna go to that. I knew exactly it's gonna go to that. Okay, so
No,
technically,
no, 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 but the reason, no, hang on, let me
if
finish
memory
one
serves
thing.
me right, if memory serves me right,
Yeah.
but this comment, if somebody wants to know, they can actually see, and my since I work in the profession of HR, we actually classify as generally a 10 years age gap as a generational gap these days.
Yeah.
So
No,
if
these
I'm
years,
not
in terms of
wrong,
cigars, 10-year
there is
gap is a vintage gap.
Right.
yeah, of course. Well, yeah. So in this context, if we see, we actually have 4 different generations in every block of where we see. So from
That's true.
40s to 50s to 60s to 70s, and that is where the fun comes. That this is the love for cigars, where everyone who has a similar mindset and a similar hobby and passion and are serious about it together and can hang out very well.
I
Whereas you will find a lot of same generation, same age people who can't connect just because the interest is different, or as Raza said, they're more towards just the social media and not
Right.
into the things of it as the seriousness or as the product itself matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raza, now what are you saying?
Well, you've completely distracted me from what I was going to say.
Thank you very much. I wanted to
I
keep it serious.
completely lost the very, very intelligent comment I had. It's all gone. It's
Well,
like a cigar. It's
now we know who
burnt
the
and turned to
60
ash.
is in our group.
The moment you said intelligent comment and you, I was concerned.
What I was going to say is Jean-Marie
Even if,
is representative of basically the world that is vanishing of cigars. These are
yes.
Of course.
we're not talking about. I don't want to get pompous and talk about serious cigar smokers. Every time someone uses this expression, they mean something different, right? What I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
so Jean-Marie technically is basically around just younger than my father's generation. This is the reason why I got into cigars, were people that I knew, like my father, who would smoke in the 70s and 80s. Okay. And they would smoke. So if they had a favorite brand, they would kind of smoke through that favorite brand. And from time to time, they would try, they would go outside of Romeo and Julieta, they would go to Monte Cristo, and they would kind of smoke around, and you would go to your tobacconist, you could pick up whatever cigars you wanted, especially in London, you could get whatever you wanted, right? Yeah. So what Jean-Marie is a almost like a representation of an aging box of cigars. That is what cigar. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a very, very nice way. It's a
Yeah,
pleasure
yeah,
to hear.
yeah.
I for the first time had to shut up and listen properly. And Stephen was wondering why Rez isn't saying anything. It's because I was interested in the discourse. This is not about cigars, actually. This is about capturing time and holding it still. And then this is also about referring back to beautiful aromas and scents and memories. So when you smoke a cigar from 1982, you're going back, traveling in time to 1982. Okay? However much you enjoy the cigar, that box will bring up some memories. So this is a beautiful thing. That's why we, Jean-Marie, talk about history of cigars, because I think it's being lost. This is not a discussion that most people have when they're smoking cigars. They'll talk about, oh, I'm getting banana leaves, oh, I'm getting chocolate. They're getting nothing. Yeah, they're just trying to get something out of it, right? Okay, but the history increases the enjoyment and the conviviality around those cigars as it has done now. So that's why we do it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree with everything you say.
Thank you.
And again, I mean, it seems that today is the history day of cigars.
No,
Uh, I, I don't know what you call it, being blasé or being ironic about it, is that you have all those nice people uh, that go to Cuba and they visit the factory and they see how they roll a cigar. And I've seen so many cigar rolling, it's getting out of my ears. The rolling cigars and the chavetta and okay, guys, we got it. Uh, and then they take you to the plantation and they explain to you a volado seco or whatever. And then you visit the Laguito Coiba factory. And then you're very happy, and then you go home. What they don't tell you is how was this created. This is what they don't tell you, and this we go back to the Robaina story. If you have
Vegas Robina.
noticed, there is complete silence, utter and complete silence on Robaina cigars. I don't know if you can still buy the Robaina cigars. And and at that time, the issue was the blue mold, where it hit all the yield except the Robaina. And being the type of economy they were, they needed a hero. And the hero was Robina. That was the hero. So they made out of him a hero that Robina.
Yep.
Robina does not have a clue about his cigars at that time because Robina was a peasant farmer. I have utter respect for all peasant farmers and everybody,
He
but he
was a
was a
Viguero.
peasant farmer. All what I mean, let's go back. He receives from the institute seedlings. He plants the seedlings, and they know what kind of quantity they expect from him or from everybody who's planting. Everybody gets seedlings. And then you have the harvest, And then you have the barn situation. And then it goes to the factory and it is kept and blah, blah, blah. Before the seedlings, nobody ever have visited the institute, the Technological Agricultural Institute, where the seedlings were produced, where the small grains or seedlings or whatever they're called were developed, and how they have created from the original tobacco negro, Habana Negro tobacco. That was the original one, which was the original one of Vuelta Abajo. How they have created Criollo, Criollo 98, Sirocco, Havana 2000, the whole range. They have married these particular uh, the grains, to create something that would fight mold, something that would so on and so on. What they were interested was not only fighting mold. Fighting mold was number two in the story. What they were interested in is yield,
Of course.
pesetas,
Of
money.
course.
This is what everybody wants money. I don't give a damn if you get mold or you don't get mold. If you can use it, use it. If you can't use it, how the hell are we gonna do? So that was number two. The number one was how many additional leaves, height of the plant, and how large are the leaves. That was the interest of
Physical size
changing
of
to
tobacco,
Criollo.
physical weight of
Physical,
tobacco.
thank you, physical size of tobacco. So that's a secret. The other secret is that nobody talks about is the blooming boxes. Has anyone ever seen where the wood is cut into planks and produced into boxes and glued and whatever it is? No, no, you are not allowed to see that. Do you know from where the small nails in the boxes are coming from? Where is it produced? How is it produced? No, you don't know. Do you know the bands, the seals, sorry, and the bands as well? Uh, who has designed them? Where are they produced? Where are they printed? You don't know. You don't have a clue. Uh,
We have
how
hints and we
how
have hints and suggestions.
how is the print of the factory and the date? Do you know how it happens? You don't know. And then you have, I'm sorry, I mean, if I sound a little bit satirical or
It's
ironic,
great.
you have people that claim that they know uh, inside out and master of Habanos and the man of the year and man of the century and man of the shit. You have little knowledge. You have little knowledge. I have little knowledge. We can share our knowledge. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. There is nobody that knows everything.
No, but Jean-Marie,
Even
you
the
have
minute
to
you,
you have to appreciate that is all marketing. That's
Yeah.
marketing.
of
That
course it
is
is.
that is international marketing because
Of
I what I
course it
find
is.
funny in London is a very vibrant place, and in London, I've met at least four different Cubans who are in the industry. One of the nicest thing, it's a very small piece of advice or knowledge that I got from them, was that in Cuba we don't talk about you're getting chocolate profile or you're getting wood or this. We don't talk about this. We say it's good tobacco or bad tobacco. It tastes great
Right.
or it smells great or it doesn't smell great, right?
Right.
Everything
And
else in this industry is about how to get that out of the industry. Every single
of
thing,
course,
which
by
now,
the
if you
whole
could,
the
if
whole world.
exactly. We had this analogy maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I'm originally from Pakistan. We have two really big crops in Pakistan. We have cotton, we have mangoes, right? Yeah. Imagine someone on the other side of the world talking about, oh, in this mango, I'm getting, hints of apricots and this. We find it hilarious. A mango tastes like a fucking mango, at the end of the day, right? And tobacco tastes like tobacco. To those who's in their DNA is tobacco, that's how it tastes, right? In Cuba,
Yeah,
because
but
it's been such.
Pakistani mango is very nice.
I know. And there's a technique of having it. You have to dip in ice, but we'll have that
Thank
conversation at
you,
different
thank you,
times,
thank
don't worry. Yeah.
you.
But it's ridiculous if someone says, "Oh, I'm getting leafiness. I'm getting this." We'll just laugh at him, right? So I would imagine, when Cubans, when they're exporting this beautiful product of tobacco and they're putting in different size. I mean, I'm very, very, very cynical about this stuff, but I enjoy the marketing. You buy cigars, Usman buys cigars, Stephen buy. We all buy them. We all enjoy them, right? But this thing that it's this long and it's gonna wrapped in gold leaf and it's got this band on it. It means nothing. It's how it smokes. It's how enjoyment you have. When do you buy it, and does it revive a memory for you? So this closed industry thing, I totally. You've said something that is my favorite thing. Is like all of this is just superficial rubbish. Yeah, enjoy the product. Therefore, to enjoy the product most, you have to know about the history. That little history, that story that you started telling about Vegas Rovina, in itself enriches your experience. That's it.
Very
That's
true.
correct. I
Well, with
agree
that,
with you.
Merci beaucoup for that.
yeah,
It is marketing, uh,
yeah.
and there was this gentleman.
But you have put off
Who-
Usman from being hombre de manos at some stage because that was his goal. Now it's not gold.
Shut up.
yeah, I know. I was
Okay,
never
yes, John,
interested
say it,
in.
say it. Yeah, say it.
I was anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I was with this particular chap,
Mm-hmm.
and actually I wasn't with him. I was listening to one of his videos. I wasn't with him, and he was telling a group of smokers that a cabinet of 50 cigars is called a wheel. Uh, to put things in perspective, this gentleman is a tobacconist, and I'm not a plain smoker like us here.
Okay.
And he said that 50 cigar is a wheel. How can you say that
I can
when
tell you why. I can tell you why. The wheel is
a wheel
cheese.
is 100 cigars?
No,
A
but they
wheel
but they
is
they,
100
they do it with the
cigars.
shape of cheese. They started to they people just make up words as they go along, but just to
It
describe.
is,
That's all.
a wheel is 100 cigars. 50 cigar cabinet is half wheel. I didn't invent it. That's what the
No, no, no. I'm
Cuban.
not talking about you. It's like vintage. Vintage, when it came to cars and anything else, right? Vintage used to mean 50 years. Now 10 years means vintage in cigar terms.
Which is crazy because if you see,
Vintage, as
let's
far
say,
as I'm concerned, is a French word for vin d'âge. Where vin
Yeah.
is 20, the âge is
Age
years.
of 20.
It's
Yeah.
age of 20. And I have explained to them that you have got vintage, which is 20, over 20 is fine. But anything beyond that is not called vintage. It's called millésime, millésime. Learn, please. If you don't know French, don't distort it. Don't call lingerie lingerie. You know, I mean, you know, the amuse-bouche. Now you go to a fancy restaurant and they give you an amuse-bouche. When I was a kid and when I was a teenager, there was no amuse-bouche. It was called amuse-gueule. And girl is different than bush. Bush is mouth.
Mouth.
Girl is the mouth of an animal, and so it
Yes.
was called Amuse Girl. And then somebody decided that man, oh, girl, oh, maybe the American or the French or the Brits, or get offended that it's girl, and they keep changing it. And this particular tobacconist decided that 50 cabinet is called the wheel. This is a major mistake if you are a tobacconist and you are teaching a group of, you are teaching wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
Don't get me started on the rubbish that.
Jean-Marie
that'll
is
be
an
next
older
week's
version
show.
of me.
Yeah. This is what you're going to be when
Sorry?
you're 70. I
Jean-Marie,
said
where are
you're
you
an older version
originally
of
from, if you don't
Riza.
mind me asking?
Sorry?
Where are you from originally, if you don't mind me asking?
Originally, I'm Syrian
Okay.
from Aleppo, and we got nationalized because we were sucking the blood of the people. So we stopped sucking the blood of the people and got the hell out of there.
Oh, no.
And then we went to Lebanon, and then I went, where did I go? To London. And then I'm all over the place, Cairo, Dubai, Bahrain, and then back to Old Blighty. And I am now in Old
So
Blighty.
Old Blighty, wow, there you go.
At my age,
Very
you have
good.
to say that.
No, it's lovely, it's lovely.
Yeah, and it's raining. Well, now it stopped raining,
It's been
which
raining all
is
day today.
another.
It's sort of a
Yeah,
humid day today in London.
yeah. I mean, my main location is Dubai, except in the summer months where it's too hot. So we come to London when it's too hot. And here it's a problem because one day you have 31 degrees with a sunny day, and the second day you have 18 degrees with raining. So you don't know if you're coming in or
This is like
going
the
out.
Cuban cigar industry. You don't know what you're going to
Yeah,
get
it
when you get
actually
your
is. You're right. It
It
is.
is that
Yeah, you're right.
surprise, Jean-Marie. It is that
Yeah.
surprise. You have to appreciate it.
My breakfast cigar usually is either a Partagas Shorts or a Bolivar Junior, which is the Minuto cigar. And I forgot what I'm saying. But there you go.
Very
Right.
nice.
So
Well,
before we move on to something else,
Sorry?
certain things that there are certain comments and few things that are being said.
Uzman, all right,
When
Uzman, not Uzman.
saying that
Urs is upset that we're not smoking cigars. So what I typed to the fans, so you know, Urs is like, I feel all alone. I go, Usman's at his mom's house, so if he spanks a cigar, he's going to get a spanking, which we'd love to see. And I've called his mom, so she may give him a spanking anyway. Riz is going to go smoke at Tom Tom's later. Let me pick that up for him. And I
I
will be smoking some.
concentrated.
Yes, I will be smoking some Cuban cigars later, which I'll put on my Instagram so you guys can see what we're smoking. But on the yacht that I'm on, we prefer that I don't smoke because there's something about petro and explosions. It's like going to an F1 thing. They're all worried about things blowing up. So we will smoke later. So there you go. So that was it. And then Ali from Cigar Analyst wants to know, if no one's ever smoked a cigar before, a Cuban cigar, how much should you spend on them? Or if a
As
non-Cuban
little as possible.
cigar,
As little as possible.
as little as possible. And if they've never smoked any cigars, would you give them a non-Cuban or a Cuban? And what would be your first recommendation? Well, if you're going to give them a non-Cuban, give them a Romeo and Julieta. It's like smoking paper. You'd be fine. And the Cubans, I don't know what you want to give them as a first cigar if they've never had.
Okay. So in Cuban's case, well, again, since we're talking about new cigar smokers, so we're talking about new cigars. I'd say Oyo de Monterrey, pick your number 2, a Catorce 50.
I say an H up and half
Maybe
Corona.
an up and half Corona, Monte Cristo Media Corona, Monte Cristo number 3 or 4. Yeah, Partagas is a slightly stronger cigar, but if you really wish to, then maybe a mini flare or a super Partagas or something like that. But now that we have an export of the
What
winters,
you should do, I'll say something alternative. What you should do is take them into a humidor and let them see what their eye catches. Then let them smoke that.
I was
Start with the eye.
actually going to come.
Whatever catches your eye, go for that.
And with your
I
luck,
was
it'll be
exactly
that
going to
Davidoff cigar that's 500 pounds. And then you're going to be like, I never really liked you as a friend, and you should leave. And that's
Yeah,
it.
it's your tobacco to burn. You want to pay for it? It's your tobacco to burn. Do what you
Or as
want.
Jean-Marie says, it's all you're doing is smoking money.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, especially if you are smoking Davidoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
which
There
is
you go.
excellent cigars. Excellent cigars.
They're a sponsor. We have to suck up. So yeah, we love
I
that.
can't suck up to anyone. It's just very, very
In the
fine
world,
cigars.
I smoke the late afternoons.
I'm
all the time.
not. I'm not as cynical as you are. I think we when it's something nice, we say it's nice. When it's rubbish, we just say it's absolute rubbish.
Really,
God knows.
really.
Yes,
Actually, you can.
if you have been smoking Davidoff in the 90s, sorry, in the 80s,
That's right.
and then you smoke now the new one. Never forget the Davidoff. I'm a D4 smoker. If I smoke a new D4 and if I smoke an old D4, it's not the same cigar
But
whatsoever,
Jean-Marie,
and
this is the
it cannot
no,
be
but
the
this
same cigar.
of course
Right.
this is the consequence of traveling through time. You've been lucky enough. You've been around long enough. When you travel through time, a Porsche 911 is not the same Porsche 911 that came out in the late 60s. It's kind of from a distance is the same shape, but it just will evolve. It will evolve. It will evolve. But you. So the very, very cool thing of having you on this show is because we are meeting someone who is traveling through the ages and is able to compare and contrast their experiences. If you go to a younger smoker, they don't know unless they have the money
No,
and
they don't.
resources to collect cigars from the past. And their view on it will be very different. They cannot relate to the same time era that you've traveled through.
That's correct.
People will listen to 80s
Unfortunately,
music today, but I lived in the 80s as a teenager listening to 80s
yeah,
music, and for me, it had a different meaning at that time.
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Is the
Yeah.
80s. He does mean the 1880s. So it's not.
Of course.
Glastonbury and Woodstock.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, well, Glassberry, Woodstock, sure, back in the day.
Woodstock.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Richie
come
was too
on.
young for Woodstock. He
When
was too young for
Jimi
yeah.
Woodstock.
Hendrix,
That's a beauty. Mama Cass, Jimi Hendrix, the whole group.
I think Jimi Hendrix overrated. I think.
You think everybody's overrated?
I'm
yeah,
just waiting. I'm just waiting for Stephen to
I'm
jump
ready for
in.
the cigar.
I thought Stephen would go,
I'll
what?
tell you why you say that, because you didn't listen to Jimi Hendrix with a joint.
I was provoking,
Oh,
Jean-Marie. I was provoking. I had to say
there
something provocative. I can't just
When you
go
smoke
along
it
with
with a joint, you'll love it.
you go.
You won't listen to anything else.
You need to be out
You know,
there.
it is the equivalent of Vivaldi. Vivaldi was in a certain era, and Jimi
Right.
Hendrix was in a different era. And
Vivaldi's
tomorrow
Four
you're gonna
Seasons.
have
Four
somebody.
Seasons.
Well,
Why can it
now
not
you
be in
have Taylor
winter?
Swift or whatever her name is.
And
Yeah.
now we won't ask Jean-Marie what his joint
You see,
collection
it's the
is.
difference. So this is the difference, right? It's the difference between Jean-Marie appreciating Jimi Hendrix and a teenager today wearing a Jimi Hendrix t-shirt. They
Correct.
think they're capturing Jimi Hendrix. Jean-Marie listened to Jimi Hendrix with 3 joints sticking out of his mouth, right? That's a different experience
Like the party disc
altogether.
thing,
And
like
then
Jow. He had
his
3.
father and
Shilom.
Jean-Marie's father came along and told him, listen, take those joints out, start smoking something proper like cigars. So there
There
we
you
go.
go.
There's
At
the
9
history
years
lesson
old,
for
his
you.
dad caught him
We,
and said, "Listen,
we were we were going. We were in the ski station, snow, do some skiing, and we were going back to the city, and it was night, and we were 4 or 5 guys in the car, and then the light flashes, and it was a police patrol, and they stopped us, and obviously we were smoking like joints, obviously. And the driver and my friend lowered the glass and said, "Yes, officer, can I help you?"
And
And
the
he
smoke
said,
came pouring
"Guys,
out. And the smoke.
from where are you going?" And we said, "We're coming from the station." And then, as you are saying, and he said, I mean, a stupid friend still had the joint as he was driving in it. And he said, "What's that in your hand? Can I have a look at it?" And we said, "Okay, that's it." Start calling the parents. And he took the joint and the policeman, and he took one puff. And he said, "Where are you going?" He said, "We're going back to the city." He took another puff and he said, "Did you enjoy the evening tonight?" I said, "Yes, officer, it was a very nice evening tonight." He took a third puff, gave it back to him, and he said, "Drive carefully."
oh my God, that's awesome." That's awesome.
Try doing that today.
This is the Jimi Hendrix days.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling you, you need to have a joint if you want to listen to Jimi. You want to listen to the Doors. You want to listen to Jefferson
Doors,
Airplane.
wow,
you want to listen to Janis Joplin.
Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
That's our era.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton.
That's not that era. He's after.
Yeah.
Well, it's still that sort of. We're still talking mid to late 70s kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, but Hendrix and all those guys and everybody, John Marie just mentioned they're from the
Hendrix
60s.
used to bend the guitar to get a sound out of the strings. He would the physical guitar. He would stress it and bend it to get a different sound. But people did all sorts of things when they were up there.
Yeah,
or down there,
until now, I want to go to Paris, and I've been many times to Paris. I want to go to Paris and visit the cemetery Lachaise. I want to visit the cemetery and go to the Doors. What's his name?
Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison.
Yeah, Jim Morrison's great.
Go to the Jim Morrison tomb. I don't want to say pay my respect, but pilgrimage.
There you go. And smoke a joint with them. You never know.
So as you are saying, some wear the T-shirt and others go visit cemeteries.
There you go.
There you go.
Old school. There's a difference between old school and the new kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And on that.
Now I remember what I was saying, Osman. So you buy a box of shorts of a cab of 50, and sorry. Just again, sorry, I'm getting.
It's Jimi Hendrix calling, and
Okay.
And so you buy a box of 50, and if you are lucky, 40% are unsmokable. You have to throw them are plugged. You have to throw them away. But the remaining 50% or 30% or whatever,
60%.
They smoke like there is no tomorrow. And I am ready to pay the money for this 30, 35, 40 cigars that are smokable, and everything else goes in the bin. But
that's why people watch the show. 40% is wonderful, and the rest is.
But then, Yomari, the whole thing is buying and finding 50 cigars cabinets is becoming an issue because one, they're not making it. Two, they've become so expensive that not everyone can afford it, and if they have to break them to sell singles,
it's 1,500 pounds the cabinet of 50 shorts.
Exactly. Yeah. So no new smoker is gonna invest that much in all that stuff. So again, you're right. I mean, this is depending on who and when. So that's the thing. But I think on that note, I think we've gone way past our time today. But the best part is we had Yomari. We learned some very interesting things. Listened to some very interesting and historical moments. And the best part is we had people like Urs and Peter and Ali and all the others sticking around here. And yes, of course, we were joined by of course our always favorite Stephen, who's been there stuck in somewhere where he cannot smoke for the last 2 weeks. Yes, I wasn't smoking this week, but I will be smoking. And then we have someone who actually witnessed someone smoking 3 kilograms time last night, known as Raja. And I'm going to judge him for at least next 2 more episodes for that, till he resurrects him from this doing of his. But I think on that note, we can all call it a day.
So, John Marie, thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Everybody who gave us comments and things today, thank you so much. We will see you guys all next week. And like I said, check our Instagrams later today. And whatever we're smoking, we will post. And you guys can see them. I'm going to smoke Cubans all day today. So I will send that out to everybody so you can see what I'm smoking. Jean-Marie will be smoking cigars that are older than Riza. Thank God. And Uzman, he's not allowed to smoke because at his mom's house. And she'll give him a spanking with a ruler, which we're paying money to see next week on OnlyFans. And that's it. So don't forget to subscribe and like, everybody. Once again, thank you for watching. We'll see you next Saturday. And if you missed the show, you know it goes out later as a rebroadcast. And if you don't want to look at our faces, podcast comes out tomorrow morning. We'll see everybody later. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
Thank you.